Okay, it's going to let me stream today. Hi, my name is Courtney, and I'm really passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself. But I'll be really honest with you, my lifestyle is so much healthier. Um, oh my gosh, I just completely lost my train of thought. Obviously, my lifestyle is healthier now that I have health issues. I mean, it has to be, right? Um, but I think it's funny that sorry. And of course, this is when my doctor's office calls, but they'll leave a message. Anyway, gosh, that was distracting. Now I'm totally discombobulated. I don't know what I was going to say. So let's talk about being a beginner. I think a lot of people have the same issue about being a beginner that I do, and it's just kind of icky, right? You don't like it, you're not good at it. Well, of course, you're not good at it. You're a beginner. But you can look at it from one of two ways. You can look at it as, oh my gosh, this is awkward and I suck. Or you're like, wow, this is so cool. I get to learn something new. And I really am facing this right now because I'm learning an entirely new job. I've never done work like this. Uh, I'm pretty confident I can kick ass at it, but it's daunting. There's a lot to learn, and it's very very detail oriented work. And if I screw up, it can have a tremendous impact for other people down the line. So I could either approach this from, oh my gosh, this is horrible. I got all this stuff to learn. How am I going to ever remember this? Which is obviously not a good approach. Or I can take the tactic that I have, which is, this is so cool. I get to learn all these new things. Look, it's just about perspective. The cool thing about being a beginner is if you can embrace the experience, it gets you out of autopilot. It's always good for us to learn new things. Challenge yourself a little bit. But let's talk about how to embrace being a beginner. This information is from, I love the name of this website, agreatmood.com. If you know me at all, if you follow me on social media, you probably know I'm generally in a good mood. So I love the name of that. Anyway, number one, you need to embrace your mistakes. Look, they're inevitable. Everybody makes mistakes. We all fail sometimes. It's essential for growth. Again, it's how you look at it. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. I fell flat on my ass and I'm so embarrassed. Okay. Or wow, that wasn't my best performance, but now I know that that method doesn't work for me. And you can figure out a different way around the problem. Failure is simply feedback. That's all it is. Number two, you need to learn to love learning. You need to lean into it. You can you can lose yourself in things that you a good example. My dance teacher just put out, good grief, a new choreography on Monday. I'm terrible at it. I've only done it 3 times. I was a lot better today, for the record, but I'm terrible at it. Well, of course. Now, I could spend the entire 52 minutes complaining to myself about how much this sucks and how hard it is, but I don't. I love to dance and I love to learn. So I just lean into I hate that expression. So why do I keep saying it? I just embrace it. I laugh at myself because when you're as stiff and clumsy as I am, you cannot take exercise too seriously. You'll go absolutely nuts. So I laugh at myself as I'm staggering around. And there's this one section where every time, I've done it 3 days now, every time I try to add an extra move in there, it's never been in there. I'm going to have to call her and tell her to put it in. I'm kidding, of course. But I don't want to make a big deal out of it because it's not that big of a deal. The only way I'm going to learn is to try it. And I've taken that exact same approach with my new job. A lot of what I'm going to be doing, honestly, it's not the most exciting work, but me being the kind of person that I am, I choose to take. First of all, I get to learn all these new skills, that's a tremendous opportunity in itself. And I'm a part of this. They've been so nice to me. I'm a part of this really cohesive team. Everybody gets along. Everybody really lifts each other up. I really enjoy the culture that I'm in. And what's great is It's the perfect culture for being a beginner because they're really upfront, like you're going to make mistakes. When we turn you loose, you're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable and it's okay. There's nothing that's not fixable. What the lady training me told me yesterday, we're not doing brain surgery here. Everything is fixable. It might be difficult to fix, but it's all fixable. Well, that's the approach you need to take when you're beginning something. You have to be open minded. You have to be open hearted. You have to fall in love with the idea of learning. You just do. You kind of need to do that to get through life anyway. Anyway, sorry. Rabbit trail again. Squirrel. Number 3, you need to start where you are. Success leaves a trail. Look, if you want to have what somebody else has, figure out how they got there. Success leaves a trail. There is always a path that they took from point A to point B. And if they're really famous, you can get online. Actually, they don't even have to be that famous. If they're famous at all, you can get online and you can figure out how they got there. But you need to start where you are. You need to make it your own. You cannot, hey, this person's doing really well at that. I'm going to latch on and I'm going to steal that idea. If they're at level 40 and you're at level 2, that ain't going to work because everybody's going to know you're not at level 40. So figure out how they got from level 2 to level 40, follow that trail and personalize it. Make it your own. Make it, again, back to my work. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. Back to my work situation. I got a hell of a lot of stuff to learn. But you know what? I don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's somebody has done this before me. Success leaves a trail. I have a plan I can follow. I have notes. I have trainings. I have outlines. I have all this wonderful stuff. I don't have to reinvent the wheel, but I still need to make the training my own because I came into this. Boy, I'm not making any sense today. I'm so sorry, but I came into this job. I have a lot of experience within the organization, but from a very, very different perspective. So my starting point, this is what I've been trying to get at. My starting point's a little different than I'd say I was a brand new employee. What's not going to do me any good to go back and do all the brand new employee stuff? I'm very experienced within the organization. So I need to start where I'm at and move forward. I don't know if I explained that very well. It makes total sense to me though. And then number 4, no need to reinvent the wheel. The fastest way to learn, ask questions, research, seek advice, Google it. There's your basic starting point. If you don't want to use Google, that's fine. Don't even come at me about, well, I don't use Google. I don't care what you use. You get my point. That wasn't an endorsement of Google. Number 5, if you want to really embrace being a beginner, you've got to give your ego the day off. Our fragile little egos will take your ego likes the status quo. Your ego looks at it from the perspective of, hey, whoa, what are you doing? We've survived just fine up till now. Don't rock the boat. Your ego is what whispers in your ear, what if you fall on your ass? Okay, what if you do? How come we don't ever have a voice that says, what if you knock it out of the park? It's the same internal voice telling you one or the other. Don't listen to the negative. You need to, we always need to tell our ego to take the day off. Our egos are just the biggest pain in the ass, and they're a huge obstacle quite often to our progress. Number 6, you need to, if you want to love being a beginner, you need to embrace your inner child. Think about it. When a little kid is learning how to walk and they are falling all the hell over their place and they're hurting themselves, they get up crying, they got a bump on their head, they hurt their leg, they fell on their butt, they're just startled that they fell, but they don't ever give up. They keep trying and they keep trying and they never lose that enthusiasm for trying, no matter how many times they fall on their butts. Embrace your inner child. Get that enthusiasm for trying because, again, failure is simply feedback. That's all it is. Approach whatever you need to learn with a genuine curiosity, as childlike as you can manage. Okay, yeah, for me, it's a little easier than others. Number 7, give yourself a reality check. You're going to have to start, if you're brand new at something, maybe you just started exercising. That's so awesome. You're not going to get up and run a marathon tomorrow. You're just not. If you are a couch potato today, you're not even going to run a marathon next month. But what you can do is you can give yourself a reality check and you can set small goals. Figure out how to go from point A to point B and set yourself small goals along the way so that you've got checkpoints. Okay, this is where I'm at today. Am I making progress in the right direction? What's been working for me? What hasn't been working for me? But you need that reality check of I'm not going to get up and run a marathon next week. I dance. I've been dancing now for 3 years, 4 years. Not very long. Not very long at all. Um, I'm not going to learn everything at once, especially with all my freaking health issues. So I like to try to learn. Now I really just do choreographies, but when I was very first learning, pick up one or two new moves a week, practice them, drill them, then move on to one or two more the next week. That's all you got to do. Start small, it'll build, and it'll build quickly. Compound interest impacts your entire life, whether you realize it or not. Finally, number 8, if you really want to learn how to embrace being a beginner, get off your ass and get moving. Time passes regardless. Don't spend your life on someday I'll do that. No, you won't. You need to eliminate the gap between the thought, gosh, I'd really like to do that, and the actual doing. The longer the gap is between the thought and the action, guess what? The action is far less likely to happen. You need to act on those thoughts pretty quickly. Even if all you do is just write them down so that you can refer back to them later, so that you can start making yourself a blueprint for where you want to go. Excuse me. You need to make sure you follow through. You can have the best action plan in the world, but if you don't implement it, it's pointless. It's completely pointless. And you just it probably sounds cheesy, but it's true. You need to love yourself enough to give yourself the grace to be a beginner. We all have to start. Everybody starts at the beginning. Everybody. Why in the hell would you think that you're exempt from that? Anyway, we had I couldn't stream Monday because I had an appointment. I was going to stream yesterday, but we had the most crazy ass storm here in central Alaska. We had like 6 or 7 inches of snow, which for us is very significant. But then it rained for 8 or 9 hours and then it snowed again. And it's an absolute freaking mess out there. I was without power for, I think, 10 hours. And there's people up the road from me that still don't have power. And on the news last night, they told them, you're probably not going to have power for a few days. So thank goodness I didn't get caught up in that. But I think that was what was wrong with my connectivity yesterday. Anyway, I have to go grab a quick snack and get back to work. I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and I will be back tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow, probably closer to noon Alaska time. Anyway, y'all take care. Bye.